I'll stumble over that term. I'm sorry. Does it make me a hero? I like being a nurse, and I love being a visiting nurse. It's a great job. Sam is 25. He has schizophrenia. He's paranoid. Unfortunately, then he gets violent, and because of his behavior, gets readmitted frequently to the psychiatric hospital. We went to his home, knocked on his door, and he started screaming at us and threatened to kill us if we came into his house. I gave him my card. We told him we would leave, and about a minute later, he started calling us on the phone, again threatening us. We kept going back, and after a few days, he invited me into the house, where Buddy Guy was blasting, and all I could hear him saying was, "Buddy gets it, Buddy gets it," but I couldn't hear anything else that he was saying, but I was in the house. He started taking the medication, and after a week or so, you could just see that spark sort of come back to him. There was this hope that he knew he didn't always have to be so pissed off every second of his life. He stepped forward and he hugged me, which was a shock. And I wasn't expecting. My goal for that relationship was that he not kill me, and suddenly we were hugging. I think that things can improve. It's just a matter of getting a person to believe that and work with us. That's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, I found trouble unexpectedly. I was reading a meter in front of a condominium complex, just a normal, typical day. All of a sudden, on my left side, a man screamed for help. I said, "Sir, what's wrong?" He says, I cut my hand severely. He says, "I think I lost my fingers." So I said, "Sir, you need to apply pressure to that wound to hold the pressure." And I said, "It's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. The medical team will be right here." Then I proceeded over to my work truck, and I turned on the strobe lights and the four-way flashers so they could identify us. And then soon thereafter, I heard the sirens coming through the whole complex. And I ran out in the street and waved my hard hat so they would easily locate us. My wife is a nurse, and she congratulated me later that evening on being calm. So I thank the good Lord for that I remained calm. I haven't fully recovered from this story, and I don't think I will in my lifetime. I think about it often. I think about that man and what he went through. I just played a small part in it. I don't want to take credit for this, because in my eyes, I'm not a hero. I was just there, and I'm thankful.
When we deployed to Iraq in 2009, we augmented a combat support hospital in the Iraqi theater of operations, so our dentists were frequently called over to the combat support hospital setting, to the operating room, to augment the surgeons operating traumatic injuries on our service members. It can be intense work, and combat dentists in my unit stand ready to perform dentistry in a variety of settings. We have a saying in my unit, "Fit to bite, fit to fight." I love the challenge, I love the interesting nature of the duties, and we operate a great team at the Cleveland VA as well. Over the years, I've hired a number of our service members. They are veterans. We love to hire veterans, and in my department of dentistry, we are veterans treating veterans. I'm humbled by this award and honored. I would like to think that I learned community service from my parents, from scouting, and from the Brothers of the Holy Cross at Gilmore Academy.
I help young adults diagnosed with cancer, ages 15 to 30, navigate their care. So I'm kind of like the life coach nurse that dives in when they're newly diagnosed, and then I follow them through their journey all the way out into survivorship. It's my passion. I mean, when I first meet a new patient, I give them my business card. I say, "Hi, I'm Amelia, and I work for you." They're just getting ready to launch, or maybe they just launched and they've just got their first job, they're out of school, or they're starting a relationship, or they just got married and want to start a family, and then they get this diagnosis. I kind of call it getting hit by the cancer bus, because that's what it feels like. It's devastating, it blows you away, and then how to kind of enter at that phase and create a safe space for them, that it's like, we're here for you, we know how to care for you, and we'll hold on to you through this experience, is just some of the most meaningful work I've been able to do my whole career. I just love it. The gift I get back, or my paycheck, is what I say, is when you see them start to get unstuck and start to move forward in their life, and that's beautiful. Like when they call me and they're like, oh, I can't come to support group, I got a job, I'm going to school. I'm like, you go, because that's exactly, we want you to be too busy for this stuff. We want you to be out there living and getting busy with that. And so that's great when they're in that phase. I don't think I'm a hero. I think my patients are a hero, but I feel like I'm a steward, and I'm a caring steward, and I am proud of that.
Yes, we are completely insane in what we do. We go out in the worst situations to save the people who need our help. It was during a storm. Winds were 20 to 30 knots. We had 7 to 9 foot waves out on Lake Erie. One of the boats was able to safely navigate, while the other one was listing so hard that it was actually dipping its sail in the water. The boat started taking on water and then ended up getting pushed into the rocks. He ended up jumping off of the boat onto the break wall, and I had to position the boat within an inch of the rocks in order to pull him off the rocks while there's waves crashing over his back. When I get someone, especially in a situation like this where the guy was so frantic, when I get him on board, it's kind of that like aha moment, like thank God he's safe and I was able to do my job and no one got hurt.
Just a day at the office.
I wouldn't say day at the office because, I mean, like I said, we're out in the worst conditions possible when we have to do these rescues. The day in the office is most people's worst nightmares. It feels amazing to be able to help somebody in their darkest hour.
We put this uniform on not to be heroic or not to be heroes or saviors or anything. We do it because we love to help people.
Police radio gave an assignment out for a motor vehicle accident. It was 34th and Denison, where the vehicle flipped and they say a male had been shot.
We approached the scene. As we approached, I saw that he had been shot in his leg, and there was a lot of blood seeping through his pants.
He's trying to speak a little bit. You can see his skin color had already started to change a little bit.
He just started crying about his son. And I know how that feels because I have kids of my own. I just started proceeding to ask him about his kids to keep him alive.
Officer Cavanaugh then went and retrieved the first aid kit from his vehicle. Tourniquet was put on his right leg to try and stop the bleeding there. And then we went around to his left arm.
And we didn't have another first aid kit on hand at this time, so I grabbed his belt off his pants, and I then tourniqueted his arm with his belt.
I really didn't realize that I saved his life until Detective Graves, who went to the hospital and talked to the male, and the doctors informed him that if we didn't do anything, he probably would have died on scene.
If it was my family member or someone else's family member, I would want someone to help my family or my friend also. I mean, and I think that's exactly what we did.
I don't feel like a hero. I just feel like the everyday cop that did my job.
It is a true story. This is a true story. Petey is one of the only certified pet partners that goes directly into the hospitals and makes room-to-room visits. He has these big, brown, warm, fuzzy eyes that just kind of melt your heart, and he's just so special. He's a gift. I never get tired of doing this job because Petey is consistently amazing to me, and the reaction that happens and the interaction, it is always overwhelming to me. When you're in that hospital and you know that no matter what is wrong with that child, you know they're going through a tough time, and to be able to walk in for a few moments and let them smile, let them laugh, let them pet Petey, take their picture, share a story, share a moment with that child, it never gets tiring. He walks in, he's patient, he's quiet. If the child is maybe a little bit nervous, you can see he'll stay back. As the child seems to warm up, he knows to step forward and put his nose deeper into that little bed or into the blanket and kind of nuzzles around. He's just patient. He'll stay as long as the child wants to pet him. And for most of the kids, it allows them to have just a few moments of that day to not think about the next doctor that's going to come in, the next piece of news, and it gives them something to like call home about or share with their friends, because nobody believes it. They don't believe a horse just came walking into their room. Like, they'll call home with their mom on the phone, "Mom, there's a horse in my room." It's really funny. Petey is the hero in all this. He truly is. We're just sort of the sidekicks, but you never get tired of it, because every time he goes, he does something so unique, and you know that you've reached out and made a little difference that day.